Salam, hörmətli ADAUTV izləyiciləri və əziz tələbələrimiz. Bu günləri sizi o çərşənbəsi münasibətilə təbrik edirəm. Hamınıza can sağlığı, süfrələrimiz ruzi bərəkətli olmağını arzulayıram. Today our lesson about agricultural soil assessment and monitoring of soil. Our theme, general characteristics of soil pollution and degradation of soil. Our plan consists about four types. About soil, type of soil pollution, soil degradation, type of soil degradation. What is soil? Soil is a thin layer of organic and inorganic materials that covers the Earth's rock surface. Soil is composed of particles of broken rock that have been altered by chemical and mechanical processes that include weathering and erosion. How soil made? Okay, we now that is weathering. Weathering consists of three parts. It's mechanical, chemical, and biological. Mechanical, it consists from wind, rain, hail, ice, and heat and cold. Its temperature. And chemical weathering consists acids and moisture. We know that from weathering we get minerals, nutrients, its ions in solution, oxides of iron and aluminium, silica, silt, sand, and quartz. Soil layers consist from several horizons. First horizon is O horizon, it's humus. Second horizon is A horizon, it's called as topsoil. E horizon elevation layer, B horizon is subsoil, C horizon is regolith, A horizon is bedrock or parent material. What is soil pollution? Soil pollution is defined the build-up in soils of persistent toxic compounds, chemical salts, radioactive materials, or disease-causing agents which have adverse effect on plant growth and animal health. Soil pollution is also caused by means other than the direct addition of xenobiotic, it's man-made, chemicals such as agricultural runoff waters, industrial waste materials, acidic precipitates, and radioactive fallout. Causes of soil pollution. We have some causes. One of is seepage from landfill, discharge of industrial waste into the soil, percolation of contaminated water in the soil, rupture of underground storage tanks, excess application of pesticides, herbicides or fertilizer, soil waste seepage, and deforestation and soil erosion. The most common chemical involved in the causing soil pollution is petroleum hydrocarbonates, heavy metals, pesticides, and solvents. The major sources of soil pollution are pollutants like acids washed over from the atmosphere, we call as acid rain, pesticides and herbicides sprayed in fields, excessive of artificial fertilizers, salt waste like garbage, trash, ash, building material, plastic, bottles and cans, storage and disposal radioactive waste from the power plant. Seepage from a landfill. Discharge of industrial waste into the soil. Percolation of contaminated water in the soil, rupture of underground storage tanks, deforestation and soil erosion. We know that deforestation is the main causes for soil erosion. We know some types of soil pollution. It's air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution. It's urban. It's from the urban pollution and radioactive pollution, thermal pollution and personal pollution. Acid rain. Acid rain is caused by air pollution. The acidic water falls on the soil and pollutes it by making the soil acidic. Acid rain and the air pollution too. Fertilizers. The use of excess fertilizers to increase the crop yield makes the soil either acidic or alkaline and pollutes it. For example, it's ammonium sulfate, of sodium nitrate and other. Excessive use of natrium, magnesium, calcium, potassium, zinc in the form of fertilizers and pesticides inhibit plant growth and reduce crop yield. Pollutants. We know pollutants, it's organic waste, compounds, excess use of fertilizers. Pollutants, organic waste enters the soil pores and decompose pathological bacteria, spread infection. Compounds, its compound is contain arsenic, mercury, chromium, nickel, lead, zinc, iron, and toxic to the life. For example, arsenic, mercury, lead, we called as plumbium too. Nickel, zinc and iron, zinc and iron. Fluids also affect the plant development. It's organic waste. It's trash. Type of soil pollution. We know three types of soil pollution. First of agricultural soil pollution. Agricultural soil pollution consists of pollution of surface soil and pollution of underground soil. Second type, it's soil pollution by industrial effluents and solid wastes. And it consists from a pollution of surface soil and disturbance in soil profile. Third types, it's pollution due to urban activities. It may be called as human factors too. And its causes consist of pollution of surface soil too and pollution to underground soil. Agricultural effects. We know the agricultural effects consist from reduced soil fertility, reduced nitrogen fixation, increased erodibility, larger loss of soil and nutrients, deposition of silt in tank and reservoirs, reduced crop yield, and imbalance in soil fauna and flora. We make call as imbalance in biosphere. Agricultural effects, it's that we know as decrease soil fertility, reduce crop yield. It's very main case. Larger loss of soil and nutrients, reduced nitrogen fixation. Just a moment. It's agricultural effects on the picture. Industrial soil pollution. Large quantities of soil wastes like used and reject chemical like sludge, press mud, sawdust, bottles, plastic materials and other. Unwanted industrial wastes generated during manufacturing processes are dumped over in the surface of soil by almost all industries with difference in the degree. Larger the production base, larger in the generation of wastes. Traditionally, these materials have been dumped around the factory site around in the entire city. Industrial effects. We know some some types of industrial effects. One of them, dangerous chemical entering underground water, ecological imbalance, a release of pollutant gases, increased salinity, and reduced vegetation. Industrial soil pollution. Okay. And industrial effects, as we see on the pictures, it's soil pollution due to industrial waste and polluted land with dangerous chemical. Soil pollution due to urbanization. Urban activities generate large quantities of city wastes, including several biodegradable materials like vegetables, animal wastes, paper, wooden pieces, carcasses, plant twigs, leaves, clothes waste, as well as sweepings. And many non-biodegradable materials such as plastic bags, glass bottles, plastic bottles, plastic bottles and plastic wastes too, and glasses piece, stone, and cement pieces too. It will be collected and decomposed. There are cases of several problems for animal health and for human health too. Urbanization effect is there are closing of drains, inundation of areas, public health problems is human, pollution of drinking water sources, foul smell and release of gases, waste management problems. We may see in the picture something urbanization effects is contamination of soil due waste. Some more effects of soil pollution. Soil pollution runs off into rivers and kills the fish, plants, and other aquatic life. Crops and forage ground on polluted soil may pass the pollutant onto the consumers. Polluted soil may no longer grow crops and forage. Soil structure is damaged, clay ionic structure impaired, corrosion of foundation and pipelines may release vapor and hydrocarbon into buildings and cellars, may create toxic dust, and it's some more effects of soil pollution in water, in urbanization effect. Methods control of soil pollution. It's reducing chemical fertilizer and pesticide use. Recycling is another way to reduce and control soil pollution. Recycled paper, plastic, and other material reduce. It's maybe glass, maybe plastic, paper, wood materials. Reduce the volume of refuse and landfills, another common cause of soil pollution, and reusing of materials and deforestation. Deforestation is the cutting down of trees and causes erosion, pollution, and the loss of fertility in the topsoil. Planting trees or the forestation helps prevent and erosion and pollution. Methods control of soil pollution. As we know, wheat soak up minerals in the soil. Reducing wheat growth helps reduce of soil pollution. One of the more common methods of reducing wheat growth is covering the soil with the numerous layers of the wet newspapers or plastic sheet for several weeks before cultivation. This prevents light from researching the weeds, which kills them. Designated pits should be used for the dumping of soil wastes. This waste should be treated chemically and biologically to make them less toxic and hazardous. Its method control of soil pollution. It's recycle. Type of soil degradation. What we know about type of soil degradation? We know that three type of soil degradation is chemical degradation, physical degradation, and biological degradation. Okay, chemical degradation, its main causes for loss of nutrient or organic matter, acidification, salinization, acid sulfate soil, and soil pollution. We talked about soil pollution, but now we see about loss of nutrients. Loss of nutrients, the removal of nutrients reduces the capacity of soils to support plant growth, decrease the soil fertility, decrease the crop yield, and hardening of the iron and aluminum-rich clay soils into hard pans. The reduction of soil nutrients may do the acidic water in the water lodging. What we know about salinization? We know about salinization that soil salinity is the salt content in the soil. The process of increasing the salt content is known as salinization. Salt occurs naturally within soils and water. Salinization can be caused by a process such as mineral weathering or irrigation. We say about weathering. We know three types of weathering. It's chemical weathering, biological weathering, and we know about the mechanical weathering. It's acid sulfite soil. Acid sulfite soils are naturally occurring soil, sediments, or organic substrates that are formed under waterlogged conditions. Release of this sulfuric acid from the soil can in the turn release iron, aluminium, and other heavy metals, particularly arsenic when the soil is arsenic, and killing vegetation and other organisms lived in soil. Water lodging. We know that water lodging, excessive irrigation in poorly drained soil in the water lodging. This occurs as is common for salinization in poorly drained soil where water can be penetrated deeply. For example, there may be an impermeable clay layer below the soil. The raised water table results in the soils becoming and we now we talked about salinization, we talked about acid sulfite soil, and now we tell about chemical degradation soil. One of these compacting, sealing, and crusting. What is it? Soil compaction decrease in space between soil particles due to externally or internally applied loads. Soil sealing is the covering on the ground by an impossible material is one of the main causes of soil degradation. Soil crusting is a thin layer of those and tough material. Soil crusting is a considerable more compacted and packed than by underlying material and increase runoff, decrease infiltration of water. It's sealing and crusting. Mining and urbanization. We know that mining and urbanization it's the surface mining requires the removal of topsoil to get at the valuable rocks below which cause soil degradation. Increased urbanization due to population growth reduce the agricultural land. Therefore, urbanization leads to deforestation, which in turn affects myelin of plant and animal species. Biological degradation affects soil microflora and fauna, also reduce the biological and microbiological activity of soil adversely, reduce the yield, application of some pesticide chemicals which inhibit nitrification, disposal of soil shales, heavy metal, for example arsenic, lead, iron, zinc, mercury, and spillage of crude oils adversely affect soil microflora. We know that microflora consists from microorganisms as bacteria, as earthworm, and other animals. Cause of soil degradation in immediate causes biophysical factors, its topography determines soil erosion, and climatic conditions, its temperature, rainfall, and wind. Unsustainable land management practice is deforestation, soil nutrient mining, and cultivation in steep slopes. Impact of soil degradation. The effect of soil degradation is not detected as serious global problem up to 2020, but its localized effect in serious affecting food supply and production in poor and marginal areas with low income. Cumulative effect to soil degradation in serious problem for human factors. Cost of degradation, and even about 100 degrees in several conditions, and 75 production several degradation. Sorry. Okay, and impact of soil degradation. Effect of soil degradation in food production system combines with the land management techniques, use of fertilizer, irrigation, and machinery uses. Degradation makes soil unresponsive to inputs, reduce alternative use of land, feature of irrigation scheme, and reduce water use efficiency. We may saw its impact in the our picture, impact of soil degradation. It's water shortage, yield reductions, forced migration, and health disease, lower income, dust storm, we may cause and smoke too, and finally it's conflict. It's finished. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.